Hello guys, how is everyone doing? Today I have another top 5 list video, and we are going to be covering the worst paywalls in GTA Online. Now what is a paywall for people who don't know? A paywall is preventing you from purchasing something if you don't purchase something else first. There can also be trade prices locking an item or a vehicle at a very high price if you don't complete a certain activity. Most trade prices aren't bad, but some are. Oftentimes these paywalls aren't linked and they don't make much sense. Some purchases make sense, like requiring an office for a crate warehouse as both are linked to each other, but others don't. I have plenty of money and I own pretty much all of the paywalls here, but for players that don't have a lot of money, this hurts them a lot. Here we go, we're going to look at the top 5 worst paywalls in GTA Online. Starting off at number 5 is the weapons bench. The weapons bench is very useful to customize guns and buy special ammo. However, in order to own a weapons bench, you need an MOC, Terabyte, or an Avenger. This makes no sense, as the weapons bench should be available in the bunker. I like the idea of it being in the vehicle as well, but why isn't it in the bunker? If you walk around the bunker, you see all these different benches where your staff is producing guns and ammo. The bunker's main purpose is arms production, but you're telling me that a bunker that produces guns and ammo, there is not going to be a bench that allows you to customize your guns? That makes no sense. If you buy a bunker and customize it, the bench should be inside. It shouldn't be that we need to own an MOC, Avenger, or a Terabyte to use it. It gets even worse, because if all you want is the bench, well, not only do you have to purchase the Avenger, the MOC, or the Terabyte, but to own those vehicles, you have to purchase either the nightclub, the bunker, or the facility just to own a weapons bench. You see how much money you're going to end up spending? The arena improved this feature, as when you purchase the workshop, the gun bench would be in there. But why wasn't it in the bunker in the first place? It should be in the bunker default. Next at number 4, we have the Avenger needing a facility. This has always bothered me personally. People always ask me, what's better, the MOC or the Avenger? I tell people the Avenger, because in my opinion it's an air vehicle, so it's easier to travel. Plus, the turrets are easier to swap with just one button, versus the MOC, where you have to manually stand up and get into the other turret. However, I see many comments from people who are upset that they have to buy the facility to own the Avenger. Many people aren't heist players. They don't have a lot of friends to do heists with, and they don't need the facility, or they don't want to play heists. Many do businesses a lot, and they don't like heists. I understand the facility stores the Avenger, but why can't the hangar store it as well? The hangar is much more worth it to invest in because you can store personal air vehicles and have a business. That isn't amazing, but it's still there. The hangar should let you store the Avenger. It's definitely a possibility. If you play the Avenger setup for the Act 2 of the Doomsday Heist, the Avenger is stored in the middle of the hangar. The interior on this mission is the exact same interior as the hangar. So let me get this straight. You can store a Bombushka and a Volatile, the two largest planes, in the hangar, but you can't store an Avenger in here? What? At number 3, we have the Terabyte needing a nightclub. This is one of the worst paywalls in the game. I have seen so many comments of people upset that they need the nightclub to own a Terabyte. They may want the Terabyte to customize the Oppressor Mark II, do client jobs, or source crates and import-export. You know, I didn't know at first that you needed a nightclub in order to own a Terabyte, because I already purchased the nightclub, and the Terabyte, it came out a few weeks later as part of the drip feed for the After Hours DLC. I didn't find out that you needed the nightclub to own a Terabyte until people told me, and I was shocked by that. I was like, what? How does that make any sense? So, people, they're forced to buy the nightclub to store it. And then the garage door, it doesn't even fit for the Terabyte, but that doesn't really matter here. There are so many garages and areas where the Terabyte could easily be stored. Why is it forced to be stored in the nightclub? I understand it came out as drip feed for the After Hours DLC, but it has no link to the actual nightclub. There is no link between the Terabyte and the nightclub. If you could start popularity missions from it, or run the club from it, then maybe it would make sense. But here, there's no link. I know you customize the Terabyte in the nightclub, but the Oppressor Mark II, you need the Terabyte to customize it, but you can still own it without the Terabyte. Why can't you own the Terabyte without the nightclub? Additionally, the Terabyte has you purchase a drone station if you want to play the client jobs, diamond shopping, and targeted data, even though you don't need a drone station for them. You can just enter the jewelry store and shoot your way through. It's actually easier. You still get the cops even if you use the drone, so the drone doesn't make much sense. Targeted data, you can do it without the drone station. You don't need the drone station. You can just go right inside. You can just shoot your way through and just hack the computers. The nightclub, while it's a good business, it's the worst business you can buy first. It's not profitable unless someone has a lot of businesses to link it to. And buying a nightclub to own a Terabyte is going to set that person back millions. They may not even have enough money left to upgrade the drone station. Next at number 2, we have research. This was added as part of the gun running DLC and one of the worst features ever added to the game. When research first came out, I got excited. I wanted to do it because I thought I would get the items for free. This was not the case. Research involves you researching so many different weapons, attachments, and in order to start researching, you need supplies. So either you buy them or steal them. Then you have to either wait a long time for the research to complete, or you can fast track it for $220,000, and then even after that, you have to buy the item. So let's say you pay for supplies, then you pay to fast track the item, then you also have to buy the item. Despite your scientist researching the item, you still have to buy it. Why is the item not free after researching it? What do your scientists refuse to give it to you unless you pay them an outrageous fee? Is that how it works? But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that research unlocks are random. You can't choose what to research, so that means you're forced to research even the stuff that's completely useless and you don't need. They threw in paint skins in the research. I once researched 2 paint skins in a row. Why do you have to research paint skins? That makes no sense. A mechanic could do that. Why do scientists need to research paint? How does that make any sense? This system was intentionally set up to get you to fast track it. The research takes long, and people don't have all day to play, which means they're most likely going to fast track it. They're going to waste money on it, and they're going to be more inclined to buy shark cards. I fast tracked almost everything, and I spent over $10 million just fast tracking most of it because I didn't feel like waiting. Take a look at the weapons bench here. We mentioned in the beginning, most people want explosive rounds. So in order to get explosive rounds, they have to purchase a bunker, then an MOC, then they have to research through so many different items just to get the explosive rounds. And they either wait so long or spend millions fast tracking it. Research should give you the item for free. I can understand ammo having to rebuy. Ammo makes sense, you gotta rebuy, but something like a turret or missile attachments on vehicles, those should be free once research is completed. Research was so hated by the community that it never came back. It could have come back in Smuggler's Run with the hangar, but thankfully it didn't. Research is one of the worst things ever added to this game. Before I unveil the number 1 worst paywall in my opinion, I wanted to make a special mention, and that's having to buy the same weapon twice. What I mean by this is a lot of vehicles in this game, almost every vehicle does this that has different attachments. Like here you see me with the Akula. If you try to purchase a different weapon, let's say you get the mounted missile barrage, then you leave and say I want the homing missiles. Well guess what, you buy that and then you go back saying I want the missile barrage again. Even though you already purchased that weapon, you have to keep buying it every single time you reswap. And this has happened to so many different vehicles in the game. This is a big problem. If you buy both weapon attachments, you should be able to freely swap them. You shouldn't be charged every time you want to swap the weapons. That makes no sense and it wastes a lot of money. And number 1, the worst paywall in GTA Online is the Arena Wars DLC. This was a very hard choice for me between this and research. The reason I ultimately chose the Arena Wars is because almost the entire DLC is a paywall. The prices in this DLC are so unreasonable. Almost everything is so overpriced. We have to purchase a property, like in other DLCs, but the vehicles that you purchase are all locked behind trade prices. Not only are they locked behind trade prices, but their attachments are as well. Their armors, boost, weapons are all locked behind trade prices. Sure, you don't need to unlock the trade prices, but if you buy everything right there, you will be wasting millions of dollars. It gets even worse, because the vehicles come in 3 different variants. Future, Apocalyptic, and Nightmare. And this is fine, but the problem is some are different than others. For instance, some versions have bulletproof windows, while others don't, and you cannot switch them out whenever you want. Instead, you have to purchase the same vehicle 3 times if you want all the different variants. Why can you not switch the versions out at the workshop? The payouts in the arena are really bad, and people are not playing it as often because double money has ended, and even with double money, the pay was bad. Most people do not have many custom vehicles, and because of this, they're going to be put at a huge disadvantage in the arena. It basically becomes pay to win, because if you have the best vehicles upgraded and other players don't, you're going to destroy them. I destroyed other players so badly using my custom vehicles. I felt kind of bad doing that, but I paid for those vehicles and upgraded them, so I felt I should be able to use them. People would be buying the vehicles and upgrading them if they weren't so expensive. But it gets even worse. This DLC has the worst trade price unlock system I have ever seen. In other DLCs, we had a schedule of trade prices. You complete this mission and you unlock it. Or you complete this many sales and you unlock it. People knew what they were working towards. However, in the arena, it's random. Trade prices are all over the place. They're all the way up to level 1000. But it gets even worse than that. Clothes are locked behind trade prices. What? I have never seen clothes be locked behind a trade price. They shouldn't. The clothes are outrageous prices, with $50,000 just for a pair of boots and over $365,000 for an outfit. Who's going to be spending money on clothes like that? So how does the trade price system work? You basically unlock them at random, up to rank 1000, and you can get really lucky and unlock that one vehicle that you want, or get clothes discounts instead. I have ranked up so much, I'm close to level 40 now, and all I have unlocked are clothing discounts, getting lucky with one early vehicle discount. But then, when I unlocked my second vehicle discount, I already owned that car, so it was pointless, and they don't refund you the difference if you do unlock the discount. This can make some players really angry, and I don't blame them. How would you feel if you constantly grinded the arena for barely any money just to unlock trade prices? You constantly get clothing trade prices and you finally give up and you go and buy that expensive vehicle. Then some other players plays a few matches and by chance unlocks it. I can see how it would make some people really angry. Arena Wars, while it had a nice concept behind it, it was a disaster in just how expensive the DLC was. It was way too expensive, and I don't want to disappoint anyone, but if you purchase the Arena Workshop and the vehicles hoping to make millions, you will not in the arena. It will take way too long. Barely anyone is going to make their money back if they bought most of the vehicles. Most people don't have enough time to grind the arena to rank 1000, and I don't think anyone will ever get up to rank 1000, at least not before GTA 6. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.